You know, I want to give Minnesota credit. They came in and did a great job in the first half. I thought our defense in the first half was not as good as it has been, especially at Nebraska Northwestern when we play at home. It seems our defense is a little bit more tighter, a little bit more energy, a little bit more juice. And Minnesota, Mason was terrific in the first half. Obviously, giving up 41 points is too much for us. And then in the second half, I thought we did a much better job. More our style, 33 points. That's the way it should be. But I was proud. Hey, they competed. They got back in the game, took the lead for a second. We did not play our best basketball. And then give Minnesota credit. They caught fire, absolute fire, hitting those 3 threes. Was it 3 or 4? I think it was 3, right? Yeah. So give them credit. They made the big shots in overtime. We made the big plays in overtime against Nebraska. We'll learn from this. We'll get better. We'll get back to work.
Pat, Tony had tied a career high in points, but he also had 30 shots, which was more than Mike and Lamar combined. Can you afford to have him being that much of the offense moving forward?
No, and he knows this, but what I would say is he was aggressive and he was engaged. And I didn't feel like anybody else was really stepping up. So he went to make plays, and I felt like for a stretch there he got hot. He got hot. And then he missed a couple here and there. Then we tried to put it back into Mike. He traveled. So we wanted to play a little bit faster and let him make some decisions. He's getting all the way downhill. He's missing some bunnies. But then he started getting it going a little bit. But for future success for this team, no, it's got to be a lot less than that. It's got to be around that 15 to 18 range. His assists need to go up a little bit, and he needs to make everybody better around him. But I can't fault his aggressiveness, and he was so engaged. He was in attack mode. So, you know, I'll watch the film. I'll see if there was anything that I saw. But as we were calling the offense, I felt like he made the best decisions for the team at that point.
Yeah, I guess my point is, do other guys have to exert themselves more? I mean, if he's feeling the need to take all those shots, do other guys?
I agree, Mark. You know, I felt like, you know, a couple guys weren't as engaged as they were in the first half or against Nebraska. And, you know, we have to keep attacking, and we have to do simple better, especially when a team is shooting as well as they did, especially in the first half. Again, they were 0 for 4 from 3 in the second half. I thought we did our job as far as defending the 3 in the second half. But if you miss shots, that doesn't mean you don't guard, you don't play hard, you don't cut hard, you don't screen hard. You know, again, you know, I don't want to sound like a broken record. We still have sophomores leading us, and they're still trying to figure out how to win, how to punch through. I thought Nebraska was a great growth and learning experience, but obviously we have to keep working with them to teach them every single night you have to compete in this league.
How much did the job that over the side? How much did the job that Nazir did, really denying Mason the ball there in the second half, contribute to you guys getting back into it?
I had Jamari to start on him, and then I had Nazir, and I thought that was one of Naz's best games. I thought he did exactly what we asked him to do. He went out and guarded the best player to the best of his ability. He really disrupted their offense, you know. But other guys stepped up for them and made plays. Give them credit. The kid Harris, I think he's averaging less than 2 points a game, and he had 16. It seems like that's a little bit of a theme. Man, we got to do a better job on those type of guys.
Hey, Coach. So Lamar Stevens, we saw him kind of get a little bit banged up there in the first half when he got fouled. After he made those 2 free throws, I think he only made like 2 shots from the field. Did you kind of notice anything differently with his play, whether, you know, how he was attacking, or if that little injury may have affected him?
You know, it definitely could have affected him because he wasn't as aggressive in the second half. He was settling for jump shots where the past games he's been really driving them all, playing off 2 feet, doing some good things for us. So, you know, maybe his hand was bothering him. I did not ask him, but I'll talk to the trainer after this.
Yeah, and then my other question, you know, from Jamari Wheeler, Zim Goulis, Pierce, and Moore, those guys only combined for 2 shot attempts tonight and no points from them. So I guess looking forward, you know, what can we expect from them and what you're going to ask from them going forward from tonight's game?
They did a great job Friday night. Obviously, tonight we need to get them more minutes. We need to do a better job with substitutions, and we'll do that. Davis is playing well in practice. Satchel was playing really well. He's a little bit sick. And Julian's like one of those guys that I just put in there because I know he knows what he's doing. He's a 5th-year senior. So, again, our bench needs to produce. There's no question.
I'll read rebounded by 11 tonight. How much of a factor did you feel like that kind of played in the game for you guys?
Well, it just says we missed a lot of shots. You know, we didn't shoot the ball very well. Murphy played like we know he's capable of playing. I mean, he had 15 defensive rebounds. I mean, that's big time. That's a big-time player. But we missed too many shots. And I'll look at the film to see if they were uncontested or contested. I felt like we got good looks, but they just didn't fall. And that's when we have to go to the offensive glass. And then we only had 8 offensive rebounds. We need to get more than that, especially when we're not shooting the ball well.
What kind of challenges did Nate Mason present?
He was terrific. He was unbelievable, and I knew he would be. He's a senior, and you know they lost 3 in a row. I knew he was going to come in with some fire in his belly, and really lead his team. I could hear him out there talking the whole time. Big time player. You know, we didn't do a great job on him in the first half in ball screens. I thought we did a pretty good job on Watson last Friday night. We didn't do a good job on Mason, but he's a senior. He knows where his spots are. He got to his spots. I thought we did a better job of him in the second half in the overtime. Much better job, but it needs to be the 45 minutes.
Pat, how much of their shooting from beyond the arc do you ascribe to, as you said, just hot shooting versus they were open and some missed assignments?
There were some missed assignments for sure, but I also thought they were hot. They had some end-of-clock stuff. Mason, we were there. He hit some big-time shots. So, again, give them credit. Team was hot. And we're one of the better defensive teams versus the 3 in the league, but not tonight. So we'll watch the mistakes, the rotations that were made. We'll clean those up. But, again, you know, there's a foundation here that we have to stick with. And we can't get deflated when other teams are going on runs. And that's where you see a little bit of the inexperience.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.